Welcome everyone. Happy Monday. I'm the Grace Strega and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Monday, June 9th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first two cards in our 5 card spread for today? First two cards we are starting our day off with today are Page of Swords in its upright, and our 6 of Swords in its reversal. Nobody's got time for it. Nobody's got time for it. Nobody's got time for it. I feel like, I got to tell you, I feel like there's like, one of the things I need to stress is we saw something really significant that was happening on Friday. Like we saw that there was a lot of energetic shifting that was happening on Friday. Not Friday, it's a correction, not Friday, Saturday, my mistake. There was a lot of energetic shifting that we saw that was occurring on Saturday, right? And I gotta tell you, like often, and like it's very common once we go through these energetic shifts that there's a lot of feelings that get stirred up, right? Welcome to Mercury and Jupiter, right? Welcome to Mercury and Jupiter shifting into Cancer, right? This is gonna bring a lot. I keep on seeing it's a lot of the space as it relates to the past coming through, right? We gotta talk a little bit. We're gonna start doing like a little bit of conversation on Cancer energy, okay? Because Cancer energy has to do, and those with Cancer placements know this. It has to do with the ability to articulate upon sensitivity, okay? It has to do with like working through sensitivity. This is often why those with Cancer placements have a hard time like expressing certain things, right? Like those are my sweet little Cancer babies, right? Right? Because it's working through something to a certain extent. And I need to point this out. There's something really important that I think that's happening, and this is gonna be like a little bit roughshod with the Sag full moon in combination with a lot of energy moving into Cancer, because it can work through the space of navigating sensitive feelings, right? Sensitive emotions, right? It's working into the context of allowing oneself to feel energetically vulnerable. And this is why I keep on seeing that this full moon, right? I feel like I keep on and I talked a lot about this in the Mystic Meditation article that I posted on Friday. What do we find? What do we find in healthy partnership? We find the ability to be authentic in our vulnerability, right? It's the ability for another person to see us. It's the ability for another person to be able to energetically, to a certain extent, to be in healthy relationship is to be witnessed, right? Like this is what we talk about here. And I want to describe this, like, this is what we mean when we talk about the difference. Like when you want to ask yourself, like what the difference is between a projection and a reflection is a reflection is the ability point that allows oneself to see the self with more clarity, right? Clarity is the ability to feel energetically reflective upon something that allows the context by which we're able to see ourselves with more clarity, right? There's a lot of that ability there. This is why we talk about often, like, I want you to think about like the mirror of the self that acts as a river, right? That when we have that ability of seeing something with clarity, it can feel energetically healing. A projection is often something that we push out from ourselves that we refuse to see, right? And this is like those moments, like this is often, and this is why I keep on saying right now, okay? This is why I keep on saying. Do you understand why I keep on saying this right now? Making sure that what we're articulating upon are reflections and not projections, right? Because the reflection is the quality and characteristic of being able to articulate to another the energetic meaning that we hold, right? It is that preciousness that we're able to identify and define one another upon. But when we're projecting, right, we push something off of the self that we don't want to navigate, right? That we don't want to like experience, right? So there's a lot of that that's happening here. So that's why I feel like it's hard for me to be able to say to a certain extent how this effective like full moon may be experienced, because I feel like there's a lot of that energy as it relates to building into the context of being able to articulate and define that which we give meaning upon. And so this is why I keep on seeing that this is navigating a lot of that energetic shifting that we're talking about right now. And it's like, I keep on hearing it's the shift that feels fortifying, because the fortification point comes in feeling the security of the self in terms of being respective towards one's feelings. Now, there's, and I got to tell you, it's hard for me to see. I'm trying to even right now define what's occurring for a lot of the energy in separation, because this is a continuation of a lot of that energy that is in magician, like the magician partnerships that are forming right now. Because you'll remember what I said about a lot of those relationships working very slowly towards one another, right? There was a lot of the energy that was working towards one another because of Cancerian lessons, right? You'll recall, I want to point out, Mars was in Cancer for a very long time. I know it's hard. I know it feels like a million years ago, but you guys remember that beat, right? You do remember. Let's go back into the Wayback Machine for a minute. Earlier this year, okay, what did we see was happening earlier this year? We had Mars in Cancer, right? A lot of healing in the space of vulnerability, right? A lot of the lessons in relationality to setting forth in such a way in order not to have to repeat, right, the energetic lessons of the past. So the thing that I keep on seeing that's happening right now is the ability of understanding and working through something to the context of being able to understand the vulnerability that's a gift. This is why it's feeling so energetically fortifying for a lot of these new partnerships. Because that energetic situation or circumstance wherein this is you'll remember that these were the relationships that were moving very slowly to one another, specifically because they kept on saying to one another that they wanted to move with more rapidity. They wanted to move towards one another with more swiftness, but they were slowing something down, and they were almost apologizing on the way, because they were saying, the reason I'm holding those boundaries is due to the fact of past experience. So you'll see that why this feels so exciting right now for a lot of those magician partnerships that are coming together is the identification point in being able to identify and recognize that feeling of affirmation, right? The affirmation, the quality and characteristic of being able to go through something, but not even to be able to go through something, getting to know one another. And in that space of being able to articulate something that feels, I told you that the auric contradiction, something that one is saying about the self that isn't necessarily true of the self. This is a lot of the work that is feeling that vibration of excitement, because this is the energy finding their confidence in order to move towards one another with more energetic security, because they're already having those clarifying conversations. They're feeling energetically seen in the right ways. Now, this brings us to a lot of the energy that is coming into divine union right now. center card for today's spread, we've got here our Knight of Cups in its upright. Now, what are we seeing right now with a lot of this Knight of Cups energy in its upright? So for a lot of the energy right now, this you'll recall, this is a lot of the Magician energy that's moving up into Divine Union. For a lot of the energy that was coming into Divine Union right now, these are a lot of the Chariot partnerships that are moving deeper into Divine Union. And for a lot of the energy that I'm seeing right now that's doing that work, that observation, that quality and characteristic in being able to energetically not just find the peace that they're able to discover with one another, but finding the ability to maintain it, right? It's like heavy in Libra. It's like finding the balancing point of the self. And so for a lot of that energy, this feels like the encouragement of the self. And I keep on hearing it's not the fact that the energy is perfect, but being able to recognize and identify where the work is placed, right? This is the same. You remember, like, look at this. I just want to show you right now. This is what we meant when I told you about the fact that for a lot of the energy coming deeper into Divine Union, right? The same thing that required one to have that sense of stability up, right? What are they working to do now? They're working to lower that. They're working to lower the boundaries. Now, is this the energy? And I need to point this out to you. Is this energy coming into Divine Union that is lowering their boundaries and losing their standards? No, right? This is the healthy relationship dynamic that we build into, because when we have someone that energetically supports us, when they're able to hold our standards for us, right? This allows us to be able to move with more vulnerability to each other, because that is how we feel safe, seen, and supported. We don't have to feel that we have to have our boundaries up all the time when we feel energetically in the space of someone that lets us feel the protectiveness of someone who honors our standards as well as we do our own, right? So this is a lot of that energy that's moving deeper into intimacy via a lot of that work, right? And I can even hear even now, like there's a lot of those conversations that are potentially occurring in relationality to doing so. While for masculine and feminine, deep within Divine Union, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to, we've got here our we got 3 cards coming up. So we've got our 7 of Cups in its reversal in combination with our 10 of Pentacles in its reversal, in combination with our King of Wands in its reversal. So for a lot of the energy deep within Divine Union, I keep on seeing this is having to do with articulating and defining, like how, like I keep on seeing, like this is the energy that continues to work towards adjusting their own manifestations. Now, why do we keep on seeing that there's a lot of this? I keep on hearing there's a malleability that is occurring right now for a lot of the energy deep within Divine Union as it relates to their manifestation. Because when we move towards, right, when we move towards what's for us, right, this is the energy that is articulating, right? They're working together to speak upon what that is, right? Like I keep on hearing it's like new dream energy. Because that ability of being able to see something that one could not see before, like that ability to be able to articulate and identify what it is that one is hoping to change. I keep on hearing that this is the energy that's not saying that they're moving away from their dream, but it's the maturation of the dream. It's the expansion of the dream, that the healthy manifestation that we move towards that opens the possibilities of what could be. Right? So there's a lot of that energetic opening that I see that's occurring right now. Continuing to get clarification between our Page of Swords in its reversal in combination with our 6 of Swords in its Page of Swords in its upright in combination with our 6 of Swords in its reversal. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through with our Temperance card. And I'm very excited to see this because this is the card that we're going to be speaking about and studying in our class on Wednesday. You can join us over if you are interested in taking that class with us. You just need to head over to my Substack, Tarot Church, and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription will be your ticket of entry into that class. Now, I gotta tell you, like I can see a lot of this energy right now, right? Like there's a lot of this energy that feels like I keep on feeling like it's feeling a lot of emotions, but it's not just the ability of feeling the emotions. It's being able to find healthy and productive spaces wherein to express the emotions. And this is why I keep on seeing that what's happening right now for a lot of these new partnerships that are coming together right now, it feels like a culmination. It feels like a culmination specifically because what we're effectively identifying is, you'll remember that these were energetic relationships wherein they were putting a lot of patience towards things, right? This is the beauty, like, and this is why, like, I keep on seeing energy that's either coming together right now or moving into separation, because for a lot of the energy that we're identifying and working through right now, what is a heavy lesson that we identify that is the result of Gemini and Aries? If you'll recall, what is the importance point that we see as it relates to time and these two houses? Okay, Aries has a bit of a difficult relationship with time. Aries comes here to heal their relationship with time, because for those with Aries placements, you'll recall, time is energetically precious because they don't have a lot of patience. Aries knows that they're able to navigate, that they're able to increase their patience with progress, right? So this is why you often see Aries that are looking for that energetic progress point, because it's that ability of identifying progress that gives, like, that sustains the Aries patience. So when we feel like we see that those modalities occur here, I can see while there may be a lot of energy right now that's working through frustration. This brings us to a lot of the energy in Gemini. Gemini energy often gets frustrated because Gemini wants to do more with time, right? The thing with Gemini is always like, what if we could do twice? What if we could do 3 times? Like, what if we could do something? Like, Gemini wants to always like multitask, right? And this is why often Gemini have to work through frustration too, because often Gemini's issues with time relate to the fact that when Gemini is doing something, what are they always doing? They're thinking about something else they could be doing. Okay. So we see even now that ability of doing so, right? Communicatively, and I feel like this is a bit of the gift that we have right now. I know it's frustrating, man. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. Like, here's the thing about it. We've got Saturn moving into Aries. I keep on saying it's like everybody's getting a Saturn return, whether they like it or not. It's like everybody's getting a Saturn return. Everybody's getting a Saturn return, whether you like it or not, because it makes you feel, right? It puts a lot of concentration. It's like you're feeling a lot with time, like an Aries would, which is saying like time is energetically precious, right? It's the gift that we give each other, right? Even here, like even this, like the gift that you're spending, me with you and you with me here, that is an energetic gift because it's how we utilize that, right? It's the ability of doing so that allows for the point of personal expansion. So we see even now that I feel like the beauty that we're seeing that's happening with a lot of these new energetic relationships that are coming into formation is, and I keep on hearing the energy say that if these were situations where they were seeking authenticity as they come towards relationship, and even here, this is energy that hasn't even fully come together yet. Remember I said they were moving more slowly, right? They were moving more slowly. And even in the space that they're moving slowly, they're seeing the manifestation that's becoming a reality and the ability of finding someone that feels like they see the other with clarity. Like everything I keep on seeing is like the energy is like moving towards each other and they're saying, finally, right? They're saying finally, because it's the observational point in relationality to what one is building with another, right? And so this is the energy that is building, like this is, I keep on hearing like a lot of these relationships, they've healed the trust, right? They've healed the trust that's allowing them to start moving towards each other with more confidence. Now, for masculine and feminine that is coming into divine union, clarification between our Six of Swords in its reversal in combination with our Knight of Cups in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through right now with our Page of Pentacles in its upright. So let's talk about this, because what we're identifying that's occurring right now for a lot of the energy that's coming into divine union, this is, I keep on seeing like this is, I feel like this is the peace that they're finding, that they're able to energetically stabilize within. All I keep on hearing about that has to do with a lot of that energy. And I can see, and this is why it's starting to feel very Cancerian, because for a lot of that energy moving into divine union, this is the energy that is understanding that peace is found. It's never made, right? This is the energy that's truly learning that peace is found. It's never made, because when we find energetic peace, right, it requires us to work through the ability to find the adaptation of the self, right? We have to adapt to the peace that we find. Welcome to all of these Gemini lessons, right? Remember all of that work that we talked about with Gemini season. Because that ability of being able to be energetically protective of our peace, right? This is why we talk about it, because it often requires us to have the ability of understanding that everything that it took to find it, the rest of the work is being able to come into the vibration of being able to stay consistent within it, right? And this is why this is energy that is working towards being warriors, because again, warriors are not aggressive. Right? A warrior is someone who is intentional, because you arrive in the way that you need to address the situation, right? You're not an energetic warrior. Like, you're not an energetic warrior if you fight all the time. That's just being combative. That's just being combative, right? It's the intentionality that we're able to place that is indicative of our strength. Because that ability, like I keep on hearing, there's a lot of energy right now that is learning poise in partnership. And what is poise in partnership? It's the ability to find, right, the energetic space of being able to find the peace in the self, even if you feel energetically volatile. Okay, like that's what poise is. You see someone's peaceful, you're like, how did you do that? Right? Like, how did you get rid of stuff? It's like, it's not about getting rid of stuff. It's about learning energetic poise. It's being intentional with how one chooses to feel, right? It's working. And I feel like that's what I keep on hearing. A lot of energy right now that is coming into union. It's like, I hear the word like poise. It's like working on poise, because it's the idea, but that's the gift. When we love each other, we have poise for one another, right? We give each other poise, because that is the ability to be able to understand and embody what it is that we're trying to find within one another, right? It's what it takes. Like, poise is what it takes to maintain energetic stability. And it's not, and I keep on hearing, it's not the fact that we're not authentic in our poise. That's what we're actually reaching for. We're reaching for authentic poise. So that ability of, again, being able to feel a certain way, right? But also being able to communicate it in a way that is not projecting it onto another, right? The poise, the intentional poise is one that we express how we feel in a way that allows us to be reflective to another, right? Because when we try to project our feelings onto another, we become defensive. Nobody hears anything. But when we feel a gravitas of something, when we feel a lot of something, right? But we don't allow it to overwhelm our system, when we find a way to be able to articulate through the magnitude of what we're feeling, we learn the ability to find energetic poise because we're able to communicate to another why something has meaning. And I keep on hearing it's not picky unless it's important, right? I keep on hearing like it's not picky unless it's important. We start hearing this a lot when we move into like we hear this a lot when every time cancer season comes. I start every time. I've been doing this long enough that every time I start hearing it's not picky, if it's important. I'm like, where's cancer? Got to be here somewhere, okay? Because it's working in the ability to articulate like the small things, right? That hold profound meaning, right? It's the little things, but often the little things are energetically important, right? And the way we can usually, and I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you right now, okay? I'll tell you right now, if you got a little something, right? This is like the last gasp. This is the last gasp of Uranus moving out of Taurus. If you got like a little tiny thing that's grating on you, right? Grating on you, okay? I want you to ask yourself, okay? If you're worried about whether you're being picky, whether it's coming from the ego, right? Or whether it's important, okay? When we're feeling that little, right? What does the ego say? I don't like it. Why? I don't like it. Why? I don't like it. But why? I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it is not a reason. That's projecting. Okay? It's like, what is the reason, right? Working into the space of what it is that grates on us. This is what shadow work is, guys. Okay? It's not, I know it sounds spooky. It's really not. Okay? It's understanding. It's getting under the surface. It's peeling back the layers on why something bugs us. Okay. And because when there's something small and it bugs us, right? Sometimes like it really isn't a big deal. I'm making a big deal out of it, right? Then that's something that is not important. Okay. But when something small, right, starts to grate on you, and then you say, why does this bother me? And the higher self says, sit down. I'll explain to you why. I'm happy to work you through it. We'll talk about it, right? The ability to define what bothers us helps us set our compass. It helps us set our energetic compass because it is the ability to derive and understand that moving towards the higher self is the never-ending conversation. And that's why that ability of being able to work towards that, if you're feeling this right now, I'm going to stress it again. Make sure you're having productive conversations in relationality to the things that may feel are wearing upon you, right? Because when we just move with aversion upon what wears on us, we are being worn by our emotions, right? But when we're able to articulate, when we're able to pinpoint something that's bothering us, we become energetic pearls. We find that ability of being able to articulate upon something that is giving us meaning, that helps us to understand and identify ourselves more, and thereby also working towards the healthy partnership. So we see even now that for a lot of the energy doing that work, I keep on seeing, right? It's like I keep on hearing a lot of energy that's shifting into, they're literally shifting into partnership via the ability to navigate through frustration, but in ways that feels like it is constructive. Because again, when we're feeling energetically irritated, okay, then but we also are working into the space of building preciousness. We protect others from our irritation, right? We find ways of being able to articulate it in such a way that creates that sense of balance, right? This is the gift that we give to each other. And I told you, why are these magician partnerships coming together right now? They're giving each other gifts, and they're giving each other gifts of what? Pearls of wisdom, okay? They're pearls of wisdom because it's the pearls of wisdom that identify and articulate, right? You'll remember I said that these are a lot of those partnerships that were seeking authenticity in relationship. They were seeking the authenticity in relationship whereby They even worked on their own self. They went into the space of, again, coming through Taurus season, operating in the space of their own majesty, loving the self, understanding the energetic assignment. And so that ability of being able to articulate and define what one is building upon, I just keep on seeing that this is the energy that feels the sense of like this is the manifestation that's coming into fruition, because even in those relationships, even if they're moving slowly, they're helping each other see one another with deeper clarity. This brings us to a lot of the energy that's coming into divine union right now, because for a lot of the energy coming into divine union, clarification between our Knight of Cups in its upright in combination with our Seven of Cups in its reversal. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Two cards? Okay. We've got clarification coming through right now with our Four of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our Moon card in its reversal. And so I keep on seeing there's a lot, I keep on hearing a lot of work that's occurring right now as it relates to, I keep on hearing genuine authenticity is what I keep on hearing. Like there's something about like, this is a lot of the energy. Like I got to point this out right now. You see this too, this here? Like this is with the Four of Pentacles and the Moon card. Like this is what I meant about the fact that like some of this energy right now, it feels like shadow work, but we're going to talk about again that the word shadow work, it's working towards, shadow work is working towards the self in order to better understand the self. And this is why I keep on seeing that there's something about the work that the energy is coming into divine union is doing right now that feels, it almost feels like an exhalation. It's like the exhalation that's exaltation, because they're saying effectively that that work, right? That the ability to be able to find vulnerability, like this is the energy that's already deeply invested in those Cancerian lessons, because this is what Cancer comes here to do. Cancer comes here to figure out places where it's safe to be vulnerable, right? Like this is what Cancer does, right? The Cancerian energy understands that vulnerability is a gift, right? And that we're energetically selective in relationality to who we are vulnerable to, right? This is often why you notice the fact that what do those with Cancerian placements do when they're feeling they get in their little shell, right? But that's why, because Cancer's work come here, like every sign comes here with an energetic gift. And for those with Cancerian placements often come here with the space of understanding that vulnerability is a gift. And when we're being vulnerable with one another and to one another, we hold that gift preciously, right? So we're energetically precious. And it's like a lot of, like, I always like Cancers are often about like finding like the perfect place, right? Like Cancers are like little compasses in terms of finding the perfect place to be energetically vulnerable, because this is often why that's often why when Cancers feel uncomfortable, what's the first thing they do? What is the first thing a Cancer says when they're uncomfortable? I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. I got to go. You know what I mean? But this is why we see that, and I keep on hearing what's beautiful that's happening in some of these energetic relationships is understanding that the healthy partnership always becomes our exception to the rule, right? Because that is the gift that we give each other as we build into healthy relationship, which is like to say to the rest of the world, I may appear like this, but to you, the vulnerability is expressed, right? It is the openness, like it is it's like the undressing that we do to one another or around one another when we're feeling that point of vulnerability. Because this is often, right? Like this is why we talk about, this is why the Cancer has like the shell, right? The Cancer changes their shell in spaces where they feel vulnerable. So it talks a lot when we're entering Cancer season about the vulnerability, the ability to be vulnerable that allows for transformation, and that ability of utilizing discernment, right? There's a lot of that. Like, this is interesting because this is actually a lot of those, a lot of the energy right now coming into divine union. I think I told you was moving into strength, but it's the strength that says, never before have I been more vulnerable for you because you're energetically worth it, right? So there's a lot of that feeling here I keep on seeing as it relates to the sensitivity that is identified. But this is the energy that like looks towards one another and says to each other, it's not that you're bringing this out in me, it's the space that I find it within you, right? It's the ability of being energetically. And again, when do we have that? When we feel like we are in partnership, where our boundaries become the other's standards, right? The boundaries that become another's standards. Now, this brings us to a lot of the energy right now, deep within divine union. For a lot of the energy right now, deep within divine union, clarification between our Eight of Cups in its reversal, our King of Wands in its reversal, and our Ten of Pentacles in its reversal. May I please have the next card? We have here our Two of Cups in its reversal. Now, for a lot of the energy right now, deep within divine union, one of the things that we're also seeing has to do with the work in recognizing, and I keep on hearing right now, for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, the manifestation isn't changing. They're seeing it with more clarity, right? And this has to do with a lot of the journey. Remember, we talked about the fact that Gemini energy deals with the array. And a good, like often what occurs when we know that we're moving towards a healthy manifestation is, and you can understand this, like any process, like as we mature, we see things in different ways. Healthy manifestation is one that we see more as we approach it. This is often why our manifestations expand, right? Because the healthy manifestation isn't about getting stuff. It's opening and arriving to the possibilities of what could be. So I keep on hearing that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, it is, I keep on hearing like it's like the opening of the dream to reveal a new dream, right? It's like the energy of like it's like coming through in the space that allows for that space of possibility. So I would not be surprised if there's a lot of energy right now deep within divine union that is doing that work to articulate upon how much they have changed and also how much their dreams have also changed in the process of growing together, right? It's like, I keep on hearing, it's like the interlinked process by which we understand, like it's the maturate. It's like, look how much we've grown. It's giving me like a lot of like, look how much we've grown kind of energy. Isn't she beautiful? But she is the relationship, right? Like it's the relationship that evolves even in the space of the those who are joined within it. Continuing to get clarification between our Temperance card and our Page of Pentacles in its upright. May I please have one card to clarify? There's that Four of Wands in its reversal. So I wanted to, like, the thing about the energy that we're experiencing right now, and I know we're all feeling it. It's a lot of frustration, right? A lot of frustration. Like I just keep on seeing this, and I keep on hearing being able to articulate and identify frustration that feels like it moves in pragmatic ways, right? I keep on hearing we can be pragmatic in our frustration. And remembering, and that's the thing I want to just kind of stress to you right now, because you'll recall, and we've talked a lot about this, like this is a lot of the work that those with Gemini placements come here to do, right? The difficulty point in being pragmatic in relationality to our frustration helps us identify and recognize, right? And this is what's beautiful about it, right? You know, when we talk about the space of our frustration, it helps us define and articulate what matters, right? Because even, and this is why I keep on seeing that there's something really important that's happening right now for a lot of the energy and separation, right? Because the difference of a healthy manifestation isn't just about the things that you reach for. It's about how you feel as you reach for them. And I told you that for a lot of the energy right now, the reason there was so much slowness that's occurring in some of these relationships is these are relationships with individuals who feel like they are healing from situations and circumstances wherein another made them feel like they were a means to an end, right? This is often what we feel when someone, like I keep on seeing, like when someone moves towards a manifestation, not for the sake of being in partnership, but for what is within it, right? So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, right? The reason that there was so much hesitation here is the amplification point of recognizing and healing. Like this is the energy that's healing in the process from situations where they experience trauma that either they've been working to correct within themselves or something that they started thinking about themselves in an unhealthy space, right? And so that's why I keep on hearing that the shift that's occurring, that's bringing these energies into partnership, is the release. It's the release of something that feels that it wasn't in alignment to you, right? This is either, again, the continuation of having a conversation, right? The relief of another, of articulating something that you're working on, and another person that says, I got to tell you, I don't see that within you. That either shows how far one has come on one's own journey, right? The manifestation that has changed the self in the process of moving towards it, or something that another person was thinking or carrying about themselves that wasn't necessarily true, but was necessary in order to perpetuate a relationship that wasn't healthy for them, right? This is often like, again, those self-limiting beliefs, those qualities or characteristics that another person projects on us that aren't effectively genuine to us, that are being released right now in the healthy relationship wherein another is able to recognize and identify like how far like one has come. And so I just keep on seeing that that's a lot of the energy like already coming into the fruition point of some of those magician relationships, because it is the identification of what they're letting go of, right? They're already moving deeper into authenticity of the self in the context of building into relationship with counterpart. This brings us to a lot of the energy right now that's moving deeper into divine union. These are those chariot partnerships. Clarification coming through right now with the Ace of Pentacles, the Moon card in its reversal, and the Four of Pentacles in its reversal. One card to clarify. Queen of Pentacles in its reversal. So, you know, one of the things I keep on seeing, and this is, I feel like this is having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. So for a lot of the energy right now coming, like, I would not be surprised right now if there's some energy coming into divine union that feels like they're going into hermit mode, is what I keep on getting. Like we got a bunch of energy that just shifted into Cancer. And like the thing is, Cancer energy is like all about that hermit mode. Okay, the Cancer is all about that hermit mode. It's like what Cancer is about. But that, and here's the thing about it, like, and I just want to show you that, you know, I want to show you with the combination of the Knight of Cups here with the Queen of Pentacles in its reversal. What we're effectively identifying that feels so important has to do with, I keep on saying, the recognition, and I keep on hearing the difference between a reflection and a projection, right? Like this is beautiful because this is a continuation of what we're seeing for the energy and separation. Because remembering, a reflection is something that we're moving towards, that I keep on hearing. And this is why this energy is working into the space, because I keep on hearing these are the energies that are looking at each other and saying that they are the exception to the rule. Why are they the exception to the rule? Because we hold boundaries when we don't know that another person has our standards, right? Like, we have to hold boundaries when we don't know if another person has our back, right? Like, that's just the way it works. Those with cancer lessons know this. But when we build into the space of knowing another, right? That supportive architecture that we find in another, right? That space where we're able to articulate and define a standard that is then upheld by another, like, for us, right? That is the moment or the opportunity that allows us to move deeper into our own vulnerability, because we feel the energetic relief of being in a space that we don't have to be so defensive all the time, right? It's working into the context of being able to feel energetically seen. So when another person, right, when we open ourselves up and another person reflects back to us the same meaning, right? We hold our energetic standards. We feel the supportive system. But when we try to open up and another person takes it personally and they push back, right? They project onto us. This often, I keep on saying, like, this often creates that vibration that like moves us back further. Because I keep on hearing, like, the spaces that we navigate are the spaces where we articulate a standard and it's energetically honored. But it also is one that requires us, and this is what's difficult with those that have cancer placements. You know this to be true. You have to articulate. Okay? Often you have to articulate how you're feeling in order to be energetically supported, right? It's working into that space. And so I keep on hearing, why is this so important? Because I keep on hearing that this is the energy coming into divine union that's learning that difficult work of articulating their needs so that they are met, right? Like, this is the energy that's working on articulating their needs so that they are met. Right. And so I would not be surprised if there's energy right now moving deeper in divine union that's learning how to communicate what it is that they need, because that is the pathwork of being able to feel safe to be energetically vulnerable. Right. Continuing to get clarification between our moon card in its reversal, our 4 of Pentacles in its reversal, and our 2 of Cups in its reversal. We've got our King of Pentacles in its upright. Now, I actually like this. I want to point this out. I think this is very important to notate. Now, there's something really beautiful here that we see in relationality to the counterparts. And again, I want to stress this, because, like, reversals do not mean the negative of things. We talk a lot about this in my tarot classes, which you can find over on my Substack. We're going to have our next one on Wednesday. But that ability of doing so, right? That ability of being able to find the energetic counterpart, this is often what we see that occurs in healthy relationship, right? Because the nice thing about being in a healthy energetic relationship is you don't have to be in the same vibration. Okay, it's counterpart. The reason we say counterpart is because it's counterpart for a reason. It is the energy that adapts to one another, right? It's not one that's continually demanding. It's not one that continually pulls upon each other. It is articulating and identifying the need that allows for that adaptability. So it's not surprising that we see right now that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, and this is the funny thing about what I'm about to tell you, the energy deep within divine union is learning how to communicate their feelings. The energy deep within divine union doesn't need to. Okay? Why don't they need to? Why don't they need to? Because when we build into the healthy relationship wherein we hold each other's standards as if they were our own, it creates, okay? It creates the energetic intuition, right? It's like this is the energy that is almost able to predicate They almost are able to, like, again, it's like the flow state of counterpart, where you can almost just be around someone and just notate, like you can just feel the vibe, like the vibes, they shift. Because it's that ability that we build into as we become more vulnerable, right? And so this is like the energy that almost is able to intuitively, like intuit, like where the other person is. And even in the space, I can almost hear like this energy, like this is what we mean when we say finishing each other's sentences, because this is what happens when we're in that healthy partnership, like the healthy relationship. It feels like it's the integration, right? Like it's like, I don't need to ask them. I already know what they're like. I already know. It's like, like, I don't even need to ask them. Like it's like, it's just, it becomes like second nature, right? Continuing to get clarification between our Four of Wands in its reversal in combination with our King of Pentacles in its upright, right? There's that five. Oof. And this is why I keep on seeing today right now, like I'm going to stress this. Okay. I know like a lot of this energy that we're feeling, big emotions right now coming up, big emotions. We got a lot of this, like, I'm going to tell you, Jupiter and Cancer is no joke, right? It's big. It's emotions that, right? Emotions that are big, that have meaning, that hold on to things that are energetically important. But that's why I keep on seeing, make sure, like again, I keep on hearing solution focused, not problem oriented, right? The ability to recognize, like feeling the frustration that propels one forward is feeling the frustration and being able to articulate what would be better, is what I keep on hearing. What would be better, right? And this is helpful. Like this is going to be a helpful little tool right now for everybody if you're feeling this. It's not enough to feel frustrated. This is how we build manifestations, right? It's like, what would be better? Right? What would be better? So make sure, if you're feeling this right now, make sure that you're articulating not just about this. I keep on hearing not just about what sucks, but what would be better. Okay. Is what I keep on seeing, right? It's working into, again, it's working through the frustration that feels like it propels one into a sense of purpose, not into, I keep on hearing not into like I keep on hearing not into an energetic tantrum. No tantrums. I know you're feeling like it. No. Okay. And if it's going to be, again, like think again, like, it's the ability, like, and again, I keep on hearing passion with purpose, is like, I keep on hearing is propulsive in the space that it moves us where we need to be, right? Like that is what we talk about. It moves us close to what is energetically sacred, right? It's the energy that propels us to what is important. So make sure that you're moving into the space of what feels like it's energetically important, right? Not the energetic tantrum is what I get, right? Because the tantrum is, I don't like this, right? The energy that articulates upon what it is that drives us forward is the energy that says, this would be better. Okay, like this would be better. And that's a message across all of the frequencies right now. Clarification between our King of Pentacles in its upright in combination with our Queen of Pentacles in its reversal. Yep, we've got here. Yeah, and that's the thing I keep on hearing. Like with the five of wands, right? So I want to say, like, it has a lot to do, like, and I keep on hearing, like, energy like this, it's going to test your temper. Okay? It's going to test your temper. I know that's difficult because I just keep on seeing this. Like, I'm going to, like, if it's like a little bit of a, like, we're going through like a little bit of this storm energy here because, like, we've got Uranus, right? Uranus is like just about to move into Gemini, which is like, and then we've got Jupiter and Mercury that is pushing into Cancer. So now we got a lot of feelings, okay? And on top of all of this, we've got Venus in Taurus that just happened as well. And we've got a Sag full moon, which is like, and here's the thing with Sag full moons. Those with Sag placements know that the thing about those with Sag, like this is the type of energy that can move you very close to your center. It can really be the type of energy that helps you understand, like, and articulate on what has meaning to the self, right? But you got to keep your feelings in check as you do so. You got to have your feelings in check. You have to be in a space that you're able to articulate from a point of energetic composure. Because, and I want to point this out, and this is the thing we have to be a little bit conscientious about right now with all of this energy moving into Cancer and all of this energy moving into Sagittarius. And I'm just going to call out the Cancers and Sagittarius right now. How is that avoidant behavior going? Okay. Because here's the thing. Listen, here's the thing with the energy, okay? And I mean this in a loving way. I'm calling you guys out in a positive way on this, okay? Cancers and Sagittarius have a little bit of work that we need to do that often occurs in relationality to navigating uncomfortability, okay? Cancers, when they feel energetically uncomfortable, what do they say? I got to get out of here. They go into hermit mode, right? They like okay? They gotta go, right? Sagittarius, when they're feeling energetically uncomfortable, they're like, you want to see how fast I can run? You know what I mean? Like, you want to see, you want to race? Would you like to have a race? Like, this is the thing. And so this is the thing about this energy right now. And if you're feeling crabby, if you're feeling like, oh, I hate this, well, and this is the only thing I'm a little bit conscientious about with all this energy moving into Cancer. All right. Like it creates a little bit of this, like, I hate this place kind of energy. Okay. It's the vibe. It's not about hating things. All right. It's about navigating through uncomfortability to find what would be better. Okay. Because Cancers and Sagittarius go through the same lessons to a certain extent, which is Cancers being like, I don't like this, like shuttering their windows, right? Cancers shutter their little windows. Okay. I don't have to look at this. Sagittarius are like, I'm getting out of here. I'm catching a flight. Like Sagittarius are like, wee! But they're doing the same thing. Okay? Like Cancers and Sagittarius, they have a hard time navigating discomfort. Okay? So I want you to work on articulating through your discomfort. And if you're feeling it, rather than rather than meh, or rather than running away, okay, I want you to articulate what would be better, right? Let the frustration orient you, not strand you, okay? Let the frustration orient you, not strand you, okay? Final card, and that's happening across all of the frequencies right now. And that doesn't mean, right? That doesn't mean that the frustration, right? I'm not saying to get rid of the frustration. Move the frustration into a space that provides meaning, okay? Final card for today's spread, between our 5 of Pentacles and its reversal in combination with our 5 of Wands and its upright. It's going to be fine. I get one card to clarify. Lover's card in its reversal. Okay. I'm sorry. It's good. I just would like to point out, I feel like the cards have got like a sense of humor today, because I'm like, it's going to be fine. And then the Lover's card in its reversal came out. It's going to be fine. Let me walk. Okay. It's okay. A different opinion allows for a different perspective. Okay? A differing of opinion allows for a different perspective. A different, and here's okay, I got to point this out. All right, this is important. This is this is important. All right, and this is how we all got to like recognize this right now. All right. I keep on hearing the thing with the thing with cancers and sages is cancers and sages have a perpetual case of the earmuffs. Cancers and sages have a perpetual case of the earmuffs. And what's that? So you hear something like la 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 like like you know what I mean? And so and cancers do this when when cancers are like, you know, cancers get frustrated, like I'm at it, like they shutter their windows, right? You know, they close up. Minute a cancer feels uncomfortable, boom, right? Bye bye. Minute a Sag feels uncomfortable, boom, right? Off to the races. They're like, boom, we've never seen something so move so fast in your life, okay? But what happens if we stick around for a minute? If you just chill out for a sec, okay? Don't jump to conclusions today. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't jump to conclusions. Work through frustration, because sometimes, right? Sometimes when you work through frustration, what is the gift you get? A different perspective, right? Sometimes when you work through when you have the ability to navigate, the gift you get for navigating discomfort is the possibility of seeing something in a way that you didn't see it before, right? But it requires you, okay? It requires you to stick around for a minute, okay? So I want you to think about that right now. I want you to think about that as it relates to working through any feelings of energetic conflict. And I feel like, and I want you, and again, if you're having a little these moments right now that says, I can't take this, I want you to move it and shift it into what would be better. Okay? No, I can't take this. What would be better? Okay? And that's across all of the frequencies. Bottom of the deck, King of Cups in its upright. So we want to talk about here a little bit of this work that we're seeing in relationality to the space of our feelings. And this is the thing. And I got to tell you, and this is what I meant, right? This is what we mean by non-attachment. Non-attachment does not mean not caring about anything. Non-attachment is about not allowing our feelings to dictate our energetic actions. But that doesn't mean that we don't still have feelings, right? When we honor, right, when we take a minute to sort out our feelings, we can understand why the feelings are the way they are, but we're able to move with intention through them. We're able to find those points of productivity. So I just keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy, doing that work, right? Sorting through complicated emotions to be able to, again, and this is why sometimes, right? This is why sometimes when we're deep in our feelings, we do profoundly dumb things. Okay, like I just gotta tell you, we've all had those moments, right? We've all had those moments when we're deep in our feelings, we do profoundly dumb things, right? Because it's those moments that the feelings are like, you know what would be a really good idea right now? You know what I mean? Like, you know what would make me feel better? Like, those are the emotions that say, you know, like, and that's the thing with some of this Sag full moon energy, like, you know what would really help? Be like, nah, right? We honor the feelings. We honor the feelings not by doing what the feelings dictate, but understanding what the feelings are asking for, right? And this is why, like, our feelings are so important. We should never be in a space that we try to turn off our feelings. Our feelings are our antenna. They are our calibration point in understanding the difference between a manifestation versus what we energetically need, right? This is why sometimes we have manifestations that we move away from because we're like, nope, not for me, right? Because sometimes we can't articulate or recognize how we feel about things, right? They're our calibration point, right? It's not about, like, again, in a healthy manifestation is not one that requires you to disassociate in the process of moving towards it. It's a procession, and you take your internal temperature along the way as it relates to how one feels about things. So I just keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, like the ability to articulate upon the feelings, the ability to articulate upon what gives energetic meaning. We move, and this is all that Leo in Mars. We honor our feelings by articulating not just what means things to us, but what energetically hurts us, right? The ability to help another identify the meaning that something has. This is how we heal. It's not easy, right? And we often have those moments like, look, we misstep. We take those, we have those moments in every healthy relationship. But you'll also understand that a healthy relationship is not about something being energetically perfect all the time. It's about being energetically intentional, even when it's not. So I just keep on seeing, if you're feeling a lot of this right now, if you're feeling very energetically irritable, if some of this crab energy is getting to you, okay? If some of this, like Uranus, like shifting into Gemini, is starting to wear you thin, I want you to focus not on what feels like the problem, but articulate and find a way to articulate upon the solution. This is a time for the difference between critique and criticism. Critique is a gift that we give another to show one another how they could do something better, right? It is the gift that we give each other that says, I understand what you're trying to do. Here, I think you'll need this. Okay. Versus those moments that feel like criticism, which is like, don't do that. Don't do like those moments that, like, we sometimes feel like a little bit of that frustration. So make sure that you're honoring your emotions today, not just in talking about what you feel, but how they could, but moving into the direction of what could be better. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my site. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I'm never going to PM you. I'm never going to DM you. I'm never going to slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site. So I would encourage you to do it there. Also, a couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, I want to let you guys know that our next tarot class is happening this Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Temperance card. If you would like to become a part of our tarot class program, all you need to do is mosey on over to my Substack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my Substack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also have access to a one-on-one. You will also have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library Archive if you become a monthly subscriber. And you'll also have access, and it's not necessary to catch up. I'll be doing my best to give you a recap on everything we've learned prior to beginning the next class, but the material's there for you to receive when you're ready to receive it. You'll also have access to you'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions you may have in relation to anything we've learned or studied thus far. And if you become a founding member, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, you will also receive access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library Archive. That's access to over 14 hours worth of material in an ever expanding library. You will also have access to the option of receiving a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, wherein I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage moving towards your personal tarot goals. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. I also post my Mystic Meditation articles. I just posted one this Friday, helping to guide you through the energy of this Sagittarius full moon. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my clients that are seeking weekly, more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey at a discounted rate. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings. You can purchase these per dream or as a package. If you purchase the dream interpretation reading package, make sure that you start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. And we will do this again tomorrow.